Crash landed on an alien planet with limited resources, no way off and no hope in sight. I managed to contract some form of space age, which confuses me because I just knew in the year 3044 we'd have protection built into the suits. But even with all the advances in technology, we're still being attacked by four-eyed monsters with four heads like Tyra Banks. Intergalactic Magic Johnson disease aside, as well as America's next top model dragons, we have limited time to get off this planet and survive and cure ourselves before this 100 days is up. My friends, this is Subnautica. I woke up in what felt like an oven on 475s. I could already tell my cheeks were sauteed.
Got to be more careful. Oh, yo, that's way too fast. I'm on fire. Oh, put yourself out. Thank you very much. Okay, now.
My PDA Stella informed me that I had a headache, and I had a feeling there was no such thing as Tylenol on this brand new planet that I crash landed on. Optimal head trauma aside, I got acquainted with the pod. I had access to a fabricator, medical kits, and enough storage to hold a few items. Once I dropped down in the pod, I immediately knew there'd be no need for a toilet on this planet because it's so big and so blue and there's no chemicals in the pool, which means I can drain the main vein whenever I need to. The first thing a good survivalist does on any new planet is learn how to dominate the smaller organisms. So I cooked a few fish and stuffed them in my gullet.
Fabricator will make things for me so I don't have to.
The fabricator cooks small organisms while disposing of the skeletal structure, bodily fluids, and internal organs, thus rendering them safe for human consumption.
Well, that's dope. We live in a highly advanced society, I guess.
After further subduing and controlling the little organisms on the planet, I decided it was time to review the blueprint and see what I could do first. After looking at those, the best course of action seemed like to go to the ship that crashed with us on the way down.
Oh boy. Oh my. Night came so quick. How many moons are there on this planet?
Since sundown hit pretty quick, I decided to review blueprints to see if I could find some way to make a water source. That was when I got this message.
Damage to the Aurora's drive core sustained during planet fall.
Oh my god. Now it's toxic around here? So now not only did I crash land, I'm killing the wildlife. Water guy, right?
Yes, indeed. Biological assassin confirmed, because when I swam near the ship, the only thing I could see was that radiation detected, and guess what? Yes, it slowly kills you if you stay too close for too long.
Is this taking off my health? It is. I have to leave right now.
On the way back to the life pod, I experienced my first encounter with local wildlife that could really, actually, and truly fight back. I was so surprised.
Oh no. Oh no. He's, okay, he exploded. He suicide bombed me. That was meant to mess with me. I can appreciate that. That's fine. I heard that swoop and I was like, I needed to get up out of there real quick. Went from 0 to 100. Well, it went to like 45. It didn't go to 100. It went to like 45.
After my encounter with the clownfish, I was still in search of materials to make water. I needed a plan. I needed a purpose. I needed something that would give me sustenance for quite a long time. That was when I found the bladderfish. Now, the bladderfish, little did I know, is the source of most water on this planet. But me being me, I didn't figure this out till quite some time later. But all hope is not lost, because in this thalassophobic world, the most important thing you can actually have is a scanner. Because you know what? Things are made of things. And in order to understand what those things are made of, you need to have a scanner so that you can scan things to figure out, oh, what do I need to grab to get what I need to get?
The scanner can be used to synthesize blueprints from salvage technology and to record alien biological data.
Bet. All right. That's a very useful tool.
And so with this find, everything got scanned. Everything in the immediate area and the immediate vicinity was taken advantage of. And I do mean everything. Even the guys with the glowing bulbs of gas balls. They got scanned. Because you know what? I don't got time not to know what I need to know. Self-improvement is a quintessential process of life. That's humanity's goal, to self-improve, to grow, to evolve, to become something greater and better. Which is why for me in this world, I needed a knife, I needed a repair tool, and I also needed fins to make myself go faster, because this slow swimming is for the birds. Another good decision I credit myself for is crafting a highly directional source of light, which in turn gave me way too much confidence at night.
Where's my flashlight? That thing's not friendly. 100%. But I got my blade on me. What's up, stalker? Nah, I'm like that. What are you doing? I'm like that. What's up?
Confidence boosted and ego firmly stroked, I completed what was probably one of the most quintessential parts of getting this story on the road. I repaired the radio and I repaired the life pod itself, which means now I have a sustainable source of energy that can give me what I need. Upgrades, upgrades, upgrades. 45 oxygen was great, but guess what? Now we've reached the level of 135 due to this high capacity oxygen tank. It's the most beautiful thing that we've ever seen for now. Too close to too late, I figured out what to do with the bladderfish, aka take them to the fabricator and craft some good old H2O, what I had been needing this entire time. And not long after that, you'll witness what I thought might have been a very quick end.
Pathfinder disc used to map a way back out of caves or hard to navigate spaces, max 20 discs per path.
A quantum detonation has occurred in the Aurora's drive core. The reactor will reach a supercritical state.
Oh no.
In T-minus 10,
Well,
9, 8, 7.
It's nice knowing you guys.
6,
I didn't make it in time.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Oh, boy, oh. I definitely thought that I was gonna die.
I spent the next day exploring, scavenging, and crafting the radiation suit because I knew that after the explosion, the Aurora was definitely the next place I needed to go to advance the story or to get new tools or new items to move things along.
Wait, what's the message on the radio?
Receiving pre-recorded distress call, laying back.
This is LifePod 3, uploading our coordinates. We're plugging some holes in our emergency sea glide, so if we're late for the rendezvous, don't panic. Also, don't go home without us. Seriously. 3 out.
Okay, I got you.
Signal location uploaded to PDA.
After receiving a distress signal from LifePod 3, there was hope that there was other survivors on this planet, people I could find, trade with, work with to even maybe get off this planet together. Every drop of lubricant I could find was squeezed out of these buds so that I could figure out how to make a sea glide. The sea glide was my first step at traversing over long distances. It was the best thing that had happened to me so far. It was the one thing that I needed a battery for that I kind of felt like I would run out of pretty quickly. I received a signal from another ship that planned on coming to get us. Well, me, really. But they said it would take a week for them to get to us, which means I'd have to survive here for a week eating fish and drinking bladder to even make it to the day that they would get here in hopes that they might actually get here to save us. When I got to LifePod 3, it was pretty evident there were going to be no survivors to find. There was a giant hole in the side of the ship, and everybody knows in water-related movies when there's a giant hole in the hull and things don't look good, they're probably not good. We received yet another distress signal from our friend Ozzy from the kitchen. He was in LifePod 17 and happened to mention there was a giant monster eating at the hull of his ship, which, if you're following along, the theme here is that when you find a life pod, the people in it are probably going to be dead. Because this story right here, the only good thing about it is that once we got there, we found some sea moth fragments, and we're going to use those to do some more exploring eventually. Fortunately, the sea moth fragment I was looking for wasn't far away. We searched the wreckage nearby, and we just so happened upon it. And now we have a full set for a sea moth, even though dumb me has no idea what to do with it. Fortunately for me, I also had something else to mark on the map, because near LifePod 17 was the entrance to an underground cave. Now this cave led to a brand new area. It was kind of purple, kind of translucent, looked like it had some pretty hostile creatures in it. The problem was that once you get under 200 meters, that 135 oxygen just doesn't hold up well. It starts to decrease exponentially, which means you die a lot faster.
Oh my God. There's a world under a world in this game.
Passing 200 meters. Oxygen efficiency
Oh, no.
greatly decreased.
Oh, I'm out. Okay. I gotta hold you. I'm scared.
Thalassophobia is an intense fear of large or deep water, meaning you'd be afraid of lakes, oceans, or even large rivers. Now, with that being said, this game pokes you in places that you didn't know you had because you didn't know you were irrationally afraid of big, dark water places. It doesn't make sense to be afraid of this because the water is amazing. But when you're meters deep, and we're talking hundreds of meters deep, you get scared, bruh.
Wait a minute, bro. Hold up. Wait a minute. Yo, just give me a second. Yo, can I leave? Yeah. He's okay, yeah. Okay, bro. Look, I'm just gonna go. Okay, I'm gonna.
After that absolute laxative of an encounter, I spent a lot of time exploring the underside of the ship, trying to find a way in. I found a lot of batteries, resources that I could use, but ultimately when I got to the actual entry to the ship, there was no clear-cut way in without an extra tool possibly. I couldn't figure it out at the moment, so I had to head back. After getting back to the pod, we had another radio message from the Sunbeam. The Sunbeam was the ship that contacted us earlier and told us that we would be on our way home in about 9 hours. However, this time, they expressed some sympathy about our situation and how they saw the debris from space, about how our ship crashed and was destroyed, and so they said they were gonna bring us home. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going home. This video is almost over. In case things weren't gonna be so easy, I spent the next day basically gathering a lot of materials to craft new things and new items. Things like a propulsion cannon, things like another sea glide, because at the time I didn't know you could just swap the batteries out. So I built a brand new one. Who knew, right? And this is also the first time that I was able to perform a self-scan, and that self-scan showed that, well, see for yourself.
Infected? Infected with what?
That's right, I had it. I got caught lacking. I thought I had protection on. I thought I wore it. I thought I used it. But unfortunately, guess what? I caught it. I caught the Magic Johnson disease. I caught this alien space form of the dirty. Given that I just found my life is over, I decided to go back to doing what I do best. Since, I love to terrorize small creatures and, hurt people. Propulsion cannon in hand, I made my way back to the ship. The Aurora is guarded by, as you saw earlier, a very, very big and colorful fish.
Oh boy. There's the big dog. Sir, please wait. No, okay. I'm still shook by this thing. Can I? Okay. Zoom in here real fast. Don't let him intimidate you. Okay. Don't let him intimidate you. He's just a fish. A very, very big fish.
After jetting this junk out of the way, I made my way inside. Inside, there was a fire raging, given, an explosion just happened, so we needed to put out some flames first before we can get back in the water. And then, after searching around, we found some data terminals and PDA elements that gave us some more insight into what happened here on the ship. But, unfortunately for us, it looks like the only way forward is with a laser cutter. Unfortunately, at this point, a laser cutter was something we didn't have and didn't know how to make. I knew that in order to find the things I'd never seen before, I had to go places I'd never been. But that meant going deeper and deeper into the water, which I didn't have the means to do at the moment. But I remembered I can make a sea moth. And a sea moth is probably a vehicle that I can use to get deeper in the water to find those things that I haven't seen before.
What they saying on the radio?
Land pre-recorded distress call.
This is Officer Keane in Light Pod 19. The captain is gone.
What?
I have assumed command. The last thing the captain did was give me coordinates for dry land. We regroup 1.5 kilometers southwest of the crash site.
Bro, I done been to
Stay
like...
together and good luck. This message will now repeat.
Rendezvous coordinates corrupted. Transmission origin coordinates downloaded.
LifePod 19's message didn't give me any more hope than the other LifePods that they were going to potentially survive. Even if he was Officer Keane, I didn't think much of him.
1,280 meters in the other direction, though. Like, I'm gonna go over there, they're gonna be dead.
Okay, watching the footage back here, I realized I made a mistake. I goofed. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm not perfect. On the way to LifePod 19, I crossed a wreck, which let me find a bioreactor fragment and a scanning room fragment that completed my set. But in the midst of scanning those two things, I got distracted and went to LifePod 17 instead of 19. Somehow, even when you're lost and going the wrong direction, you always end up where you need to be. On the way to LifePod 17, I found another wreck that had a lot of blueprints I needed, aka prints for a modification station, prints for a battery charger, and prints for a laser cutter that I was looking for this whole time.
Get out.
Blueprint acquired.
There it is. Get out. Get out, get out, get out, get out, get out, get out, get out. Yeah.
Oxygen.
Yeah. In the wrong room. Crap, I'm gonna die. I'm not gonna die. I'm gonna make it. Oh boy.
Okay, don't panic. Don't panic. Don't panic. Don't panic. Don't panic. Don't panic. We're not gonna make it out. We're not gonna make it out. No, I'm gonna die. Oh no. So death is bittersweet, but honestly not the worst thing that could happen to you. You die, you respawn, you start over and swim back to where you were and you move on with your day. It's definitely not the worst thing that can happen to you in this game, trust me. Once I got back to the sea moth, I acted like nothing happened because for me, nothing really changed. So the game has a save mechanic that helps you out a lot, basically. So every time you enter a base, the game saves your inventory. So once you exit a base and then start grabbing stuff, if you die after that, then the game will take away your things. But for me, because I was grabbing blueprints and not items, I didn't lose anything in my inventory. I'm also learning that different vehicles have different depth limits. What that means is there's a certain meter depth that you can go to before you start to get crushed in your vehicle. Now the Sea Moth up front has a 200 meter depth limit, which means I need to craft another module to make it go deeper, or craft another vehicle that by default could go deeper, and then go further down and find new resources. People obviously tried to escape and survive, but we seem to be the only survivors thus far. Everybody else is big dead. Man, there's a radio message.
Aurora, we're approaching the planet now. We have a landing site for you that's, well, it's better than the alternatives.
Oh.
We've sent you the coordinates. It'll take us a couple of days to align our orbit. Should be able to establish direct contact with you during that time. Then we're coming in to get you. Cross your fingers for the weather holds. Don't leave us waiting. Sunbeam out.
It sounds like somebody's coming to get me, right? It sounds 100% like I will be saved. Like, oh, we're gonna come, we're gonna land, we're gonna touch down, we're gonna scan everything around, and we're gonna pick you up and take you home, and you're gonna be safe. You're gonna be eating breakfast by tomorrow morning. It sounds so hopeful, right? Don't kid yourself. We're like 10 minutes in to like a 40-hour game. Don't be a goofball. Sunbeam en route, it seemed like plan A was set, which means, just in case things don't work out, just in case the Sunbeam gets here and doesn't get me, or is some kind of evil villain alien that wants to probe me and poke me, I don't really have time for that. We need a plan B. And plan B was to figure out how to build a base so we can lock in for the long haul if we have to. Now, obviously, the first step of building a base is using the builder tool. Now, the builder tool allows you to fabricate pieces of a base, aka lockers, rooms, connectors, hatches, anything you can come up with that you would need for a base. Habitat builder in hand, I still needed diamonds for my laser cutter. Now, I couldn't build that just yet because I hadn't seen diamonds yet in this world, but I was also running out of time and I needed to catch up with the Sunbeam before they showed up. I wasn't there and they decided to leave. Couldn't take that chance. Let me be in the exact spot because 5. I'm here.
Survivor, we see you.
Dope.
Man, I don't know how you held out down there. We broke an atmosphere and we're descending towards the landing site.
Oh my God.
Is that a building down there? What do you mean you can't make that?
They're about to get shot down. No, I need to.
Hold on. No turning back now.
No, turn back, please.
Positions, everyone.
Please turn back. Please turn back. No, I can't.
9,
I
8.
have to shut it down. Oh no. Oh, don't turn back.
It's coming from the building?
No.
Change course. Set thrusters to full.
I knew that couldn't be it. It obliterated it. At least something. No, it burned up. I guess we knew it couldn't be that easy, right? Man thought for a full second, that last little bit of his life, that his goose wasn't already cooked. Dude came in hot, like basically ran straight into the cannon thing, as opposed to landing somewhere else on the planet or somewhere else around the island. Like, it flew straight into the cannon and got exposed. Like, it just seems like it was picture perfect stupid. Rummaging around the island, I gained access to the internals of the facility. Now, this facility was designed to keep people off the planet, to keep the planet in quarantine. So it has a lot of defense mechanisms that basically keep people from shutting off the giant gun if, you're infected. Let's do it. Interact. Don't put your finger in the hole. Don't do it. Okay. You fucked up. Just not the eyeball, please, bro. Just not the eyeball.
The arm? I'm infected.
The
Wait.
control panel is broadcasting a message. Translation reads, warning, infected individuals may not disable the weapon.
So what this obviously means is nobody gets to leave until somebody finds a cure for Magic Johnson. Now, going back to the facility, there's a lot of data terminals to grab, information to gather, right? But I also found an ion cube, which is a high-capacity alien energy source that I have no idea how to use. The data terminal I found revealed that there are 2 other alien facilities here, just like this one on the planet. One at 800 meters, one at 1200 meters. These seem like proper destinations to figure out exactly what's going on with this planet and see if I can cure myself of this disease. I spent some more time exploring the facilities to make sure I covered all my bases in terms of finding all the information I needed to go further. Every corner of this place had been combed. Every spot, every nook and cranny had been checked. So I headed back to the pod because I found nothing. And you know what happens when you go back to the pod after you go on an adventure? A radio message pops up, this time from Master Shredder.
9 new biological subjects designated. Hunting. Analyzing. Sharing subject locations with other agents.
Who sent this, bro?
As you can see, I was shook, and honestly, justifiably so, because something was hunting, and it had 9 targets, and all I can think of was that I was hoping that one of them was not me. I tried my hand at building a base, starting with the scanning room, since it was the only component I really had that was probably for a person. But I kind of found out that I'm probably not smarter than the 5th grader, because trying to put oxygen in the room and make it work, I guess, it proved rather difficult for me. I was trying my absolute hardest to take this floating air pump and connect it to the scanning room so that I could breathe on the inside, because the only way I could think of putting oxygen into something was using this air pump. Now, I have an engineering degree, folks, but that doesn't mean I read good. This floating air pump is just to provide oxygen to a specific part of the open ocean, not to provide oxygen to a habitat. Given I wasn't making any progress and I was really starting to feel humbled by my mediocre attempts at providing oxygen to this support system, I gave up and basically decided I'm going to build a compass because I need to be directionally competent to figure out how to go from place to place. While I was looking for parts for the compass, I came across a wreck. Now the wreck had a beacon fragment. A beacon is basically a self-marker that you can place and then name so you can get back to places you find of interest. Just when I thought things were slowing down, getting kind of boring because I was only scavenging, looking for parts, blueprints, trying to figure out how to get places I can't go just yet, then the vision started.
I thought I was... What is being fed into my brain? Hello? So this is going to advance by itself. Okay, cool.
No, I have no idea what this is, and they called unknown, so you know what? I can't even block their number. This is a trash situation. I feel like I'm being stalked by an alien. Still scavenging for parts for the compass and other useful things. I found some life pod notes, life pod 6 to be exact, and they did not do so well.
Ma'am, I need you to stay calm. We're not in immediate danger.
Where are the rescue teams?
The Aurora didn't make it.
So, where are the rescue teams?
They're
Did she not
dead,
understand
ma'am.
that?
We have rendezvous coordinates, but the route's irradiated.
So, what are you going to do?
I'm head of human resources, ma'am. This is not my expertise. But the PDA says if we can find some lead, we can make radiation suits.
Oh, there! I am not setting foot outside this life pod without the proper protection.
Don't worry. I'll go.
Oh, that was pod 6, right?
What are you doing?
You were gone so long. I thought you'd drowned.
Put the flare down!
I was going to try and attract someone's attention.
That's not a distress flare! Stop waving it around like that. You'll catch the fuel line.
So it turns out doing the bidding of people who don't want to do for themselves and send you on suicide missions, maybe, still gets you killed in the end, even if you survive the possible suicide mission. I got another radio signal, this time from LifePod 4. Like pretty much everyone else on the planet that survived for about 10 minutes, they were in distress. Lots of fish around them, they didn't really know what to do, no resources to be had, but they wanted help. Now, much like LifePod 6, LifePod 4's coordinates were corrupted, which means there was no beacon to find them, which means I had to go off of the notes that told me they were near the Aurora. Luckily, I had already passed this LifePod, but I couldn't figure out how to get into it the first time. So now I popped in, found a creature decoy, and some PDA data. On the way back from Life Pod 4, I ran across these floating islands held up by these giant pink ancient floaters, as they called them. Now, these islands were home to quite a few things. A couple hostile, a couple friendly. But I'll tell you what, this was the first time I encountered a diamond. But guess what? I didn't have a compass, so I never actually came back here. After risking my life for some shiny jewels, I got back to the pod and yet another radio message was waiting for me. This time from the Aurora HQ?
My lord. Play that.
This is Altera HQ. This may be your only communications window. We can't send a rescue ship all the way out there, so Aurora, you're just gonna have to meet us halfway. We've uploaded blueprints to the ship's computer.
No way.
Yeah, give me a second. Black box data shows the high security terminal in the captain's quarters is still functional.
Becky's leaving like in 5 minutes.
All right, well, tell Becky I'll just take the regular.
Regular.
Yeah, she'll know what I mean. The code should
And
be...
if she doesn't,
Just tell her the regular, dude.
okay.
The
If I
code...
say regular, she's like, what's the regular? I can come all the way back up here.
The code should be 2679. The regular's just a ham and cheese.
Okay, would you just say ham and cheese?
Ham and cheese.
Okay.
Code 267 in hand, it sounds like a strong hint to go towards the Aurora. On top of that, I have diamonds in my inventory now, which means I can grab my laser cutter. I need to collect some other materials along the way, but I think we're going to be fine getting that together.
Yes.
We also got an automated message from LightPod 12.
Radio message. When did that come in?
This is an automated distress signal from
Life Pod 12.
Coordinates attached. Warning. Life pod has sunk beyond safe diving distance. Do not attempt retrieval without
Submersible support. Okay.
Signal location uploaded to PDA.
Boom.
This game already had a bad track record of people surviving LightPod crashes. Just by that automated message, I already know there's nobody on that ship. Laser cutter in hand, though, I figured it was time to go back to the Aurora. Given that there's probably secrets in there or things that I can use to go deeper, I needed to get inside and do things. But as you already know, the Guardian of the Aurora, still there, still kicking.
The shark dudes are down there. I don't know what to make of this. Yeah, okay, bro. Okay, you big. Okay, I get it. When you come through, everything shakes. Okay, I got you. Looking like Aquaman with your arms out. That's not even arms. Those are like fins, bro. I'm gonna hide. Okay, I'm gonna hide from you. Oh, did he attack them? Is he yelling at them? They say, Daddy? He like, go home, boy. Go home.
Back inside the ship, we put the laser cutter to work. Nothing like bending cold steel to your will. We floated inside to find exactly what we expected. A bunch of wreckage, a bunch of repairs needed, and electrical fire everywhere. We found the Aurora's black box data deep inside the ship. Then we weaved our way through this maze of pipes and electricity to find the prom bay, covered in flames and utterly destroyed after the Aurora's explosion. Our pathway was blocked on both sides, one by obstacles and the other by fire, so I decided to use the propulsion cannon to get some of these obstacles out of our way. Up in the crew's quarters, I was able to scavenge for the last of the rations, everything from nutrient blocks to water bottles. It was kind of heaven for me because it meant I probably didn't have to scavenge for fish for a while. The captain's quarters was close by. Given we had the code, we went right in. There's a PDA and a data terminal here. The data terminal housed the Altera HQ's last recorded transmissions, as well as the Neptune escape rocket. The escape rocket gave me hope that we were actually getting off the island, but I knew it was too soon to count our chickens.
Relationship contract.
PDA data.
Legal recording.
I want you to imagine for a second that you're in a relationship with somebody, and that person has strictly bound you to a set number of hours to see them every day, right? So anytime you want to see them, you have to make time on a calendar. You say, okay, this is your time slot is allotted to about 2 hours a day. After that, you're done. Until they get fed up with you and then they decide, well, you know what? I'm going to reduce all of your hours to 0. I don't want to see you anymore. I want to go talk to the guy with the giant prawn suit.
What? Not the relationship contract? Yo, that was what a way to like just say to somebody, hey, I'm done with you. I'm reducing our contract hours to 0.
Relationship drama aside, imagine when you find the captain's log. After everything's gone down, he was playing a game while the ship was crashing. Back in the bay, I was scanning anything and everything in sight. I had to have anything and everything that I could find that would aid me on this trip. I had to get off this planet soon, and I think I found something that might help me out. The Prawn Suit Mark III. The Mark III is a mechanical suit that allows you to jump into extreme environments, to mine, or to explore anything that might be too crazy for your normal human body.
Boom. Now I can craft the prawn suit.
Given we're sitting here in the prawn bay, lots of prawn suit pieces laying around for our consumption. Easy work. Next thing to do is to repair the locker room door with the repair tool. It's like rewinding time every time. The locker room was filled with other goodies like health kits and batteries, and another door for us to cut through as well.
We're cutting through this hole in the wall.
We continued further up into the ship, supplies everywhere, but at this point my inventory was full with everything I'd already grabbed. So we headed further up into what looks like offices and a blown away airlock system. There was also a note from Huggins to Wilson about a prawn suit that they had in their possession. Now, if you remember Wilson from before, this is the person who told Elheim in their relationship note that they'd be changing their contact hours to 0. So it looks like Wilson left Elheim for Huggins.
It's an evil world we live in.
This note also had the key code for cabin number 1, so gotta remember that for the way back. We raided the administration office and found some more information on the launch of the Altera, as well as another item called Notes to Self. Back down in the Seamoth Bay, there was lots of fragments that, if I hadn't already had them, would have given me the opportunity to craft a Seamoth blueprint. But we found the Seamoth Depth Module Mark I, which will, when the PDA tells us to go deeper, it'll let us take care of that. In the drive bay, we found the Cyclops engine efficiency module, which will be great when we actually build the Cyclops, but for now it's kind of useless. I also did some swimming around the drive bay, and I didn't know it at the time, but I could have repaired these engines, but I wasn't aware you could just repair things by, patching them up. So I never ended up clearing up this radiation, so yes, I am an environmental terrorist. After spending 2 full days in the ship, it felt like I had found everything that could be found. So I felt like at this point, it was probably time to regroup and head back to the pod to figure out what to do next, considering all the information I'd found on the ship. Back at the pod, we get another distress signal from LifePod 7. Now, at this point, I don't have to state it. The track record is there. There's no hope of finding anyone alive on that pod. But I also went to review the prawn suit blueprint, and I essentially found that most of the things I can create. However, there's one thing called aerogel that I have not yet encountered. So even though I got the blueprints for the prawn suit, no way to build it yet. One significant change though is that the Seamoth Depth Module Mark I we found can be used to make the Seamoth go 100 meters deeper. Therefore, we can explore some of the places we haven't been to yet. One of those things being going back to LifePod 19 that we mistakenly went to LifePod 17 instead of the first time. Now that we have our depth module, we can make it to 300 meters and we got our direction straight now. When I got to LifePod 19, I was, for some reason, in a rush. So what I found was an ultra high capacity tank as well as Officer Keen's voice logs. I did grab some lithium as well as a power cell fragment, but for some reason I didn't check the rest of the environment here to grab all the resources I could. For some reason, I just zoomed off back to the pod for whatever purpose, because I missed a bunch of resources that I now know are here. Back at the base, we checked out Officer Keen's voice logs. They revealed that the captain heroically went down with the ship in an effort to keep the long-range radio intact so the rest of the crew could contact HQ. It also revealed that there's a rendezvous point somewhere on the planet that the crew was supposed to meet up at. Now we just have to get there. I reviewed all the blueprints to figure out if I could craft anything before I set out for the rendezvous point. Now, I figured out that a lot of things require a modification station as well as a base itself to get set up. Like a bioreactor requires some place to put it. The ultra high capacity tank requires that modification station in order to be built. But for now, I didn't have anything pertinent that I could build, so I kind of just set off for the rendezvous point. When I got to the island, I discovered it was floating. A bunch of those ancient floaters we saw before were holding this entire island up, and this island seemed to have its own mountains. So I don't know how many of those guys there are or how efficient their float game is, but it's strong. Now, there were also exterior grow beds on the surface of the island when I landed. Now, this was my first time seeing marble melons or any fruit whatsoever, so I was hoping to get my own food source set up.
Integrating new PD.
We have to board the Aurora, repair the long-range comms, make contact with the other survivors. We can't
This is
be
day
the only two
26.
that made
So,
it.
okay.
Those are not the orders the captain gave me, and they are not the orders I'm giving you.
This isn't chain of command, it's survival.
My obligations as acting commander don't turn on their convenience. Get out of the water.
That's true.
If I get into trouble, I'll send you my coordinates.
I can't let you go alone.
Then come with me.
You don't leave me much choice.
Nah, she didn't.
Emergency transmission from Second Officer Keen 2 hours after last activity.
Rendezvous was a failure. Intercepted a transmission from Altera HQ.
Can I get back up? Okay, now I'm stuck down here. I don't like this.
We were intercepted by a Leviathan-class predator before we could reach the ship.
Leviathan class.
Consider the CTO and I lost at sea. Be safe. Keen, out.
Okay, Keen's a real one. Keen was like, yo, look, we done. Don't come for us. That's unfortunate, though. I kind of wanted them to survive. He seemed like he was the kind of guy who's like, I'm looking out for everybody here. I'm doing my thing. Like, he ain't folding under pressure. Like, shoot, you crash land on an alien planet, most people would be like, all right, bet. You on your own.
I made my way to the top of both mountains. Didn't find a whole lot. Couple notes, couple new pieces for the habitat, and a couple indoor grow beds specifically that would help me grow some plants and whatnot when I got back to base. I made my way down the mountain and got to what looked like the main habitat. It had a bunch of different components and some outdoor grow beds that looked like they housed a lot of good fruits. I was most interested in the multi-purpose room because that's the room which seems like is the main front to the base. So I definitely needed to grab that. Despite what happened with the crabs here, I made out pretty good.
Multi-purpose room. Scan it. Ooh, there's a tablet in there. Yo, stop, please. I don't want to kill you, but you're gonna make me because you think I won't do you bad. You think I won't? Yeah, you know what time it is. That's why you ran off.
The crabs were relentless, so much so that I had to change the angle of how I was scanning the multi-purpose room. Outside of that, made out good because including the multi-purpose room, they also gave me the large room. The base is gonna be amazing.
I almost left without this. What day is it, bro? Day 26. I almost left without this. Can you believe it? Yeah, you probably can. You watching me now, you're like, oh, this dude's stupid. Anybody that's played this game before is like, yo, he don't know what he's doing. I'm like, well, duh, bro, it's my first time in the game. You cut me some slack, G, please.
Turns out this, at the moment, wasn't really much of anything. This is an archway. It allows you to pass between 2 points on the island, but without power, it's basically useless. After scavenging everything I needed and grabbing the multi-purpose room plans as well as large room plans, I thought, it's time to make a base. There's no better time than the present when I have everything I need. So I hopped in the sea moth and took off. On my way back, I got my first look at one of these Leviathan class beings. Basically, it's like a giant squid with algae living on its back, protected by these tiger plant things. Kind of crazy. All right, I'm gonna cut straight to the point. When I got home, I got another radio message from another life pod. This guy named Yaki Kassar is a high-profile individual that they were transporting. However, his life pod went down just like everyone else's. Now, you know as well as I do, he's dead. There's no point in trying to figure out if he's gonna survive or not. He's dead. I went to check out his life pod, didn't find a whole lot besides his voice logs, and I headed home because I really wanted to build a base.
This is the first time I've seen sunlight in months. After all that time in the deep, I'd been dreaming of it. Now that I'm back here, I'm finding it hard to enjoy alone. Father was right. We should never have left this place. We shouldn't have gone so deep. They do not want us down there. Despite my best efforts, ill health is taking hold of me. The visions are getting worse.
Oh,
Marguerite
crap.
and Father are now part of the ecosystem of this incredible planet.
So he took an
It's
L.
reassuring to know that when I go, I'll join them. Until then, well, there's always the view.
What you just heard is the end of the story of Marguerite, Paul, and Bart, the last survivors of a ship that crash landed before the Aurora. Paul, the former captain, was desperately trying to maintain his authority after failing to keep his ship in the sky. Marguerite, the hired gun, obviously doesn't trust his leadership, especially when he's out of his element. His son, Bart, is doing his best to make sure they all have food and water to survive. However, things went wrong when the weather changed and forced him off the floating island and into the depths. Even though I had no way to power it, I was eager to put my new parts to use. So essentially what I did was I started crafting a way to set up a large room on top of my scanner room, and then I tried to incorporate a multi-purpose room, and then I finally built a large room out of the plasteel ingots that I had. And that was my base, even though I didn't have any way to power it. One of the pieces you need for enamel glass is stalker teeth. You would think you would have to kill a stalker to find its teeth, right? Clearly not the case.
And it just kind of falls out of the sky as you need it.
Ooh, you're kidding. You're kidding. These are just here? You were giving these away? Are you serious? Excuse me. I need a lot of these.
I don't need a lot of them.
Oh my, that's right here. In abundance. You're kidding. What? Bro, I thought I would have to murder one of you to get those. They're just sitting there on the ground. The easiest power source to pull off seemed to be the solar panel, so I spent some time picking up the materials for it, and now I have a brand new base with full power.
Yo, I have a real home now. I have a real home now. I have a real home now.
Absolutely overjoyed with my progress, I knew I needed to improve on my base. So I set out to create a bioreactor, a battery charger, which I needed a wiring kit for, as well as a scanning room upgrade so that I could find new pieces to keep crafting things. The scanning room speed upgrade came first as I knew it would be helpful when I was looking for the other blueprints. That helped out later when I was going for the bioreactor and the battery charger. I was able to get the battery charger set up no problem. In fact, I was also able to grab all the dead batteries I dropped outside, bring them inside to recharge, but it kind of proved a hassle because I only had the solar panel set up on the outside, and the solar panel really couldn't handle the 4 batteries.
And there's no power. So these 4 batteries are sucking the life out of this place. Jesus.
And with that, I knew the bioreactor had to be priority number 1 because there was no way I could survive off a single solar panel. It had to be done. It had to be done quickly. And fortunately, the components of a bioreactor really aren't that hard to find, so it was pretty easy to set up. I was back to my old ways because the bioreactor requires living organisms to power itself. So I had to grab every fish in sight, stuff them in the machine, and watch them turn into green sludge. Beautiful sight. I crafted a couple lockers because I knew I needed extra storage space. There's no way I'm going to live here and not use it as a closet. I headed to check out Lifepod 12 finally to figure out if I could find something useful. What we found was Officer Danbury's crew log as well as something special. It's a time capsule. The time capsule held a ruby, a gel sack, and a deep shroom. All things I had no idea what to do with yet, but a very useful time capsule, little did we know. On the way back home, I stopped at the Aurora. There were lots of little knickknacks that I needed to grab before we considered this place completely pilfered. So I grabbed a bunch of nutrient blocks, batteries, water bottles, any other resources I could find, and then I left this place for good. I wanted to make the final push to set this place up like home, which means I needed to bring everything that was outside or inside the life pod into the base for convenience of crafting and consumption, whatever I needed to do, right? I was also able to craft a second bioreactor, meaning this place is now at 1,000 capacity as opposed to that 575 capacity. This is an amazing jump.
Danby.
I'm not really a doctor.
Oh,
I know
he's trash.
that's what my ID says, but I never have been. Cheated the medical exams. What does a doctor these days need to know about manually resetting bones? When was the last time a top surgeon actually cut someone open? That's what the robots are for. Doctors these days read diagnoses off of computer readouts.
This right here is why you read before you do stuff. Basically,
what good is it when I'm not connected to the main network?
I hope you find this helpful. Don't eat the gel sack. Plant it.
I've got glowing green pustules growing on my hands.
Will do.
I run a cell
Because
scan and it tells
that's next
me
for
I've got
sure.
skin irritation. The only thing I studied in medical school was how to lie convincingly. What the hell do I know about how to treat an alien disease? I think I'm actually going to die down here.
I mean, yeah, I'd figure that out by now. You behind the ball, bro. So it won't let me plant it, but it told me to plant it. I feel betrayed by the instructions.
And the reason I feel betrayed is because I haven't yet figured out how plants and growing items work, right? So gel sacks need water to grow because they're underwater items, just like melons need sunlight to grow because they're above ground items. For now, I crafted some lockers to put the gel sack away for safekeeping. I also continued the push to bring all the items from outside to inside so that I could complete my base. When I grabbed that time capsule, it gave me all the ingredients I needed to build aerogel, which means now I can make a prawn suit, but I'm still stuck with a single gel sack, so I don't want to waste the gel sack before I figure out how to make more of it. In the meantime, though, it's time to make this base a base. I added a radio and a medical kit fabricator to complete things. To continue putting the base together, I needed lots of titanium, so I went scavenging again. This led to me finding the complete set for the stasis rifle, as well as the beacon fragment. I finally set up an exterior underwater grow bed that I filled with gel sacks and deep shrooms. This was the start of my aerogel farm and the start of me using bleach to make water instead of bladderfish. The interior of the base needed more storage, so I set up some wall lockers as well as a standing locker to make space here in the large room so that I have more room to add things if I needed to. It's time to go deeper than we've ever gone before. LifePod 17 is the marker for the underground cave system we saw before with the giant glowing mushrooms. It was also home to some very long eel-looking monsters that might bite our heads off at any point in time we get down there. It turns out that the Gazi crew had an entire base down here, complete with a water filtration system as well as a nuclear reactor it looks like. I also found the power cell recharger part here that I needed to complete my set. Lots of voice logs to be grabbed as well as some nasty tentacles that poison you when you touch them. They tried to murder me. Oh my god. Okay. Well, just gonna remember not to mess with that thing ever again. Can I scan it? Nope. Seems like Marguerite likes to sneak off while she's writing her diary. I also found a couple other things here, including a big mound of gold that requires some new tool to mine, as well as a Pokemon called Magnetite that I could use in some recipes later. And silly me didn't bring any food with me, so once I got hungry down here, it was time to go home. After I satisfied my needs, there's a lot to unpack here. There's a bunch of blueprints I've found, including the water filtration machine, which I know I needed to build ASAP to stop using these bleach bottles for water. And then my next plan would have been to basically revisit all the life pods I've already been to in order to find new parts because I have new things to explore them with. So let the adventure begin. I needed lots of rubies for my new inventions, but I couldn't for the life of me remember which life pod it was that gave me rubies. So I did a world tour. I started with life pod 13. Life pod 13 wasn't the one, and I also figured if I went from life pod to life pod instead of my home base to another life pod that I'd find some new wreckages and other things. Oh, bro. Okay. Look, okay. You're gonna into the ground though? That is cheating. He just disappeared into the sand. Look, okay, bro. Okay.
Detecting multiple Leviathan class life forms in the region. Are you certain whatever you're doing is worth it?
Please shut up. Please shut up. Please shut up. Please shut up. Now I'm scared. Multiple Leviathan class, bruh? Multiple of those things? Are you certain whatever you're doing? That makes me question everything that I'm doing. When a computer questions you on what you're doing with your life, bruh, I feel like I failed. Okay. I feel like I've also escaped, maybe? I don't know, bro. Like, because he went into the sand. He could be there. He could be right there. It didn't take very long for my strategy to pay off. On the way to Life Pod 12, we found some prawn tooth torpedo arm fragments. We also found a moon pool fragment for the first time, in addition to the last piece of the modification station, as well as a reinforced dive suit. I made it back to unmarked gravestone number 12 where the jewels of Acrobat waited me. Finally, I had all the rubies I needed to make my water filtration system and my power cell charger. And I gotta keep it a bean here. I found a time capsule with some cuttlefish in it. Now, I looked this up after the fact, after I'd already beaten the game, but cuttlefish are, the little cute friendly otters, I guess, that you find on this planet. But unfortunately for me, after I picked this up, I basically ignored it. Back at the base, the reinforced dive suit gave me clues to where we were going. We're probably going deeper than ever before because it suits for extreme temperatures, meaning we're probably going deep enough to feel the heat from this planet's core. I also got a chance to set up the water filtration system, and I'm telling you, this thing sucks energy like nobody's business. If I hadn't set up these two bioreactors, I think this thing would have sunk me. The other thing that almost took me down was the power cell charger. Between that, the battery charger, and the water filtration system, it just didn't seem like 1,000 units was going to be enough.
Son, there is always a pecking order. And in our world, money makes a hierarchy. I pay Maida a fraction of what I pay you, and you a fraction of what I pay me.
If money makes the hierarchy, why is Marguerite making the decisions?
We need her. We let her think what she likes, so long as she does what she's told.
What if she doesn't?
For enough money, she will. People always do.
Paul seems to think that money runs the world. Maybe in a normal circumstance, sure. But given what we know about how their story ends, I think his arrogance is going to get him killed.
We're already 200 meters below sea level.
I'm not sure what's going on.
Deeper?
Look around us, Chief. Water leaking through the hull, water outside the hatch. We're drowning real slow. If rescue arrives, whatever shot us down, it's gonna do it again and again until it's shut off. You see an off switch around here, Chief?
Why would it any more likely be half a kilometer down?
Do I need an
Kid
aquarium,
found
maybe?
something on the scanner. There's something down there. Something that shouldn't be.
You're mad.
I'm going all the same, and I have an idea you two are gonna follow. But if you do, be mindful. Your authority stopped at sea level.
Ooh. And she took him with her and was like, yo, look, I don't care what you think, what you doing. I just need you to know. Look at me. I'm the captain now. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm free. I am delivered. The modification station has opened the path to the thermal blade. The thermal blade allows you to kill and instantly cook small fish, which means wherever I go, as long as there are small organisms to terrorize, I get to eat. As an update to our story on the Degassi crew, it seems like Marguerite Maida, as she'll be known from this point forward, is tired of following these guys around. Bart and Paul, she's not really fond of them, so she's gonna leave without them, presumably, and go even deeper to figure out what's keeping them here. Paul, on the other hand, is frustrated because he's losing his position of authority, which arguably, given the recordings, he really shouldn't have in the first place. He seems really arrogant, like a rich guy would be in a situation like this. Like, he's like, I got the most money, I make the decisions, you follow me. Which in cases of survival, doesn't make sense. It's a wild thing to think that because I have money, I'm important. Which now backfires. The modification station was a godsend, let me tell you. Everything inside this thing I needed to craft immediately because there was no way I could continue without getting these death modules first and foremost. There was also no way I could go on without doing this thermal blade thing. On top of that, this ultra high capacity oxygen tank, I had to have it. Everything in here is gonna get done swiftly. Ladies and gentlemen, I made a grave mistake. I have to be honest with you. I got a little bit ahead of myself here. So I had crafted all the death modules, right? And so I wanted to see what I could see. So I went to the next location, which is the next Degassi habitat, which is about 500 meters down. And I found Squidward. Now, Squidward is a giant octopus with a translucent head. He's actually probably electromagnetic because he shoots EMPs. The game tells you nothing about this. He shoots EMPs, shuts down electronics. You can do nothing against this because, well, you probably could, but I couldn't because I didn't have torpedoes. Anyway, regardless of how we got here, it doesn't really matter. I took on this giant squid octopus thing and I took a massive L because I tried to circumvent him, and well, he's really just not circumventable at this point in time because if you leave the ship outside, he'll attack the ship and not you, and then you're basically stuck down here waiting to die. Now, given the trauma I just went through and the extensive work I had to do to get down here, on top of not having a moon pool in order to craft the death module number 1, I did what any sane person would do. I acted like all this didn't happen. In order to restore my sense of self-worth, I had to craft something, and that something was going to be the high-capacity oxygen tank. So in order to get that, I had to go back to the second Degassi station to get lithium in order to pull out the fabrication for the recipe. Since my confidence was literally still in shambles, I had no choice but to tuck my tail between my legs and go exploring. Now, I wanted to see what was beneath the floating island, and beneath the floating island was, well, what I was looking for. Moonpool fragments, some pieces of the Cyclops ship that I had yet to craft, as well as a piece of the prawn suit drill arm. The Moonpool fragment is exactly what I needed to get my revenge, because now that I can craft a Moonpool, I can upgrade the Seamoth with torpedoes and blow Squidward back to Bikini Bottom. Only problem there is that the base has a hidden point system that I wasn't aware of, right? So while I was trying to set the Moonpool up, I dropped the base's integrity level below 0, which means this starts to create a pressure problem, which means the base will then crack and break in different spots, and you have to go back through and basically repair these positions. Now, you also have to remove the part of the base that's causing the integrity issue. It's a wild time, but what I ended up having to do was attach a bunch of bulkhead doors in order to bring the integrity level up high enough so that I could add the Moonpool on and, not drown. Moonpool finally set up, there was nothing left to do but set up the vehicle upgrade console. Now this opens a lot of possibilities because now there's prawn suit upgrades as well as Seamoth upgrades, including torpedoes. I was also finally able to customize and color the moth, and I gave it a pretty cool name. Mr. Moth's new paint job put a battery in my back, which basically means it made me take my tail from between my legs and go back to face the octopus one-on-one for some much needed stabby stab. I have no way of battling him. I'm gonna get close, and then I'm gonna hop out, and I'm gonna start stabbing this dude.
100 meters. Oxygen efficiency
Nah, bro. What's up? What's good?
Passing
Where you going?
200 meters,
Where you going?
oxygen
Where you going?
efficiency greatly decreased.
Where you going? Where you going? Nah, where you going? Where you going? Where you going? Where you going? Yeah.
A titanium mass somewhere in this area. Unable to confirm whether it originated on the
Oh, it's
Aurora.
another one? Did it just immediately respawn? Did it just respawn like immediately? No, I killed it. Yo. And another one's down here? Nah, bro, you gotta get dealt with too. I'm not with that. I don't care. Oh, I don't know what just happened right there, but okay, cool. What's up? Where you going? Where you going? Where you going? No, you gotta get dealt with too. I don't care. Nah, none of y'all. Thermoblade. And I got enough oxygen to deal with this now. Thermoblade, what's up? Yeah. Finished you all. Oh, you want some first? That green paint gave me strength, apparently.
Double kill out of the way, we got to scavenge what is probably going to be the last of the Dagazi outpost. Given what we heard on the surface, this is looking like where they made their last stand. Quite a few blueprints here as well as a bunch of different notes. It looks like there was a lot of conversation going on between these guys before things all came to a head at the very end, because this place is absolutely destroyed. On top of finding that octopus here, I think there were other things that gave him trouble as well. Before I headed out, I wanted to do more exploring, because it seemed like this wasn't the only important piece of information I needed to find down here. So I continued downward and got lost in what I now know as the Lost River. This big chasm that spans probably 3 directions and has a sea of green mist at the very bottom that's kind of poisonous. I also learned that I'm probably not the most dangerous thing down here.
That's a big Leviathan class monster right there with stuff on its nose. That is a ghost. No. Nope. Just gonna look the other way. Nothing's happening to me. I can't see it. It's not there.
Just around the corner from where I almost lost my lunch was a giant skull. A lot of teeth on this one, a lot of husk too. So what it looked like was an alien research facility, like they had been studying the remains of these giant creatures that we found down here, which means someone or something is or was taking a lot closer look to figure out exactly what's going on this planet. The orange key I nicked from the Dagazi base led me inside this alien research facility. It looked like someone had been examining all the creatures on the planet to figure out what keeps them going, what keeps them alive. The only 2 things that seemed like they were relevant down here were the fauna reproductive data, as well as the ion cubes in the back of the room here. I went back to check out the ancient skeleton because my good old American instinct told me that absolutely I can take these ancient bones and make them into fossil fuels. With no such luck, I headed out to fight Squidward one more time. Round 3 was definitely not in my favor.
Bro, you think you finna come up here and do me like this again? I will kill you. Nah, dog. Okay, maybe I got lucky the first time. I don't know. I'm out. All right, hold up. I'm out. I definitely got lucky the first time. I admit that now. I admit that I got lucky twice before. But I'm about to leave. I'm about to go my own. Excuse me. Maybe I just caught you from the wrong angle this time. Because before, he wasn't even trying to attack me. And now I caught a 2-piece, and I'm hurt. And I'm ashamed of myself now.
On the way out, it didn't fare so well either.
I gotta eat. Oh my god. I know y'all saw that. I know y'all saw that. I thought I was dead. I don't even know how to deal with those things. Like, bruh, the regular Leviathans are enough trouble. You think about that, you gotta add in the ones who look like ghosts or skeletons. Like, who was responsible for, I don't even know how to phrase my sentence right now. Those things scare me, dog.
Back at the base, I offloaded me loot. Everything I had, I put into storage. The latest message from Paul Torkel explains how we're going to turn into the X-Men. To be honest, I can't wait till my mutant powers kick in.
Please, stop fighting and listen. We're sick.
What?
How? You've been coughing, right? Feeling itchy? Blisters?
Yeah.
The biometrics would have warned us if we were sick.
It's something new. It's not in the database.
Come on, then. What's it gonna do? Turn us inside out? Dissolve us into jelly?
It's an alien bacteria. It's everywhere. Every organism on this planet. It's altering our genetic code.
How are the creatures surviving if they're infected?
I don't know yet.
Want me to cut some of them open for you? Find out what makes them tick?
No.
Just tell me what you need, son. Materials, equipment.
Just... Can I have some quiet? I need some time to think.
This next bit gave me the hope I needed to do something stupid.
Margaret, Maida has boarded the habitat.
Oh, okay.
What are you so happy about, Maida?
Say, kid, I brought you something.
Is that a Leviathan outside?
Towed it home on the back of the sub.
You killed that thing?
It's still breathing.
Okay.
I was about to finish the job, but I can stay and chat if you'd like.
That's interesting.
No? Then make yourself useful and pass me that hardened blade.
Are you out of your mind? You brought that thing here? What if it's not as dead as it looks? What if others come?
You prefer it got curious and came of its own accord, or got messed up and dragged here?
When we get off this planet, I am going to drag you through every court in the damn Federation.
You can try. As you just heard, Maida did it. She killed the big one. And when I say big one, I mean one of the Leviathans, one of those Tyra Banks monsters. But not everybody's happy about it.
Marguerite, I can't find out how they resist the bacteria if you slaughter them all.
It ain't always they oblige in coming in alive.
He means you're being reckless.
Father, the outcome's no better if we hole up in here and don't go outside. But we have to find a middle way.
There is no compromise. Not while she's on my sea base.
Your sea base?
I'm going outside.
Bart, Torgal has disembarked the habitat.
Bart, come in. It's dangerous. Damn it, boy. I know you can hear me.
Chief, get off the radio and put on your helmet.
What?
Brace!
As you can hear by the sudden sternness in Maida's voice, they were attacked by a giant monster underground. Now, this monster isn't described, but Paul will tell us a little bit about what happened afterward.
Came out of nowhere. An alien kraken, bigger than a cyclops. Tore a hole clear through the reinforced hull. I barely got my breather in time. I told her. I said others would come. The rupture threw me clear of the habitat, and the monster turned and bore down on me. Just as its tentacles came within reach, Maida appeared out of nowhere. She had a sea glide in one hand, a jagged piece of scrap metal in the other. She meant to butcher that beast or die trying. The last I saw her, she had the metal lodged in its neck as the monster did its best to shake her, contorting off into the darkness. I'm certain she got her wish, one way or another. Then I thought I saw a light deep below me. I hoped maybe Bart had swum clear. I followed it. Now I wonder whether I saw anything at all. Our oxygen is low. The habitat is gone. I can't see the sky. Something surely has the scent of my blood.
Sounds like our crew is done for. Well, we know at least Bart made it back to the surface, but he most likely died shortly after. Sounds like Maida got carried off by Leviathan, and Paul, well, Paul's gonna die a lonely death. In the meantime, I'm gonna craft these swim charts fins and listen to this next radio message. Radio messages. An alien sent me a message. Oh my god. Okay. Is this gonna be translated? No, it's not gonna be translated. With what I just saw down below, I had to be safer than ever before, so I had to have an engine efficiency module as well as a perimeter defense system for the Seamoth. I'm gonna craft this from this fabricator. I can now craft perimeter defense system, and I can craft an engine efficiency module. Easy work. Boom, boom. Now I got two. Right after I crafted these, another radio message popped up.
This is Life Pod 2, coordinates attached. We're way past our safe depth and bleeding O2.
Okay.
We'll have to swim for the surface, but it's 500 meters straight up. We'll make for the rendezvous and keep you posted. Out.
Signal location uploaded to PDA.
Yeah, surely y'all ain't make that. On our way to Life Pod 2, we encountered a blood root. Blood roots can be used to pick up blood oil, which can be used to make benzene. Life Pod 2 held a couple key components, the first one being the Cyclops Death Module Mark I, as well as CTOU's voice log. On the way back from Life Pod 2, I encountered a giant wreckage, one that I needed to explore, but because I'd grabbed so much blood oil at Life Pod 2, I had no inventory space, so I had to save this one for later. At the base, the blood oil we found became benzene. Now, benzene can be combined with fiber mesh to make synthetic fibers. Synthetic fibers can be used to craft the reinforced heat-resistant suit we saw on the modification station.
Flotation devices failed.
Yeah, holla at me.
Flooding. Evacuate.
Wait. I can reconfigure the O2 system
Equipment.
to act as a bilge pump.
It's working.
Okay, good news. We're alive and we've stopped sinking.
Right.
The oxygen's going to run out in 30 minutes and we're 500 meters down.
Facts.
What do we do?
We'll have to use the remaining juice to send a distress call and build whatever gear we can. Then we find a way to the surface.
Do I think they made it? No, absolutely not. I stored the reinforced suit that I crafted in a locker for safekeeping. I didn't think I needed to wear it just yet. Another radio message to play.
Playing a harshly insulated broadcast.
Destroyed. Mode. Patrol.
Whoa.
Targets unaccounted for. 1.
Okay, that sounds like a threat. So now I need a torpedo system. Like 100%, can't live without it. Gotta have that now. I went back to the wreckage near Life Pod 2. I fancy myself a intergalactic Blackbeard, a space pirate if you will. Prawn suit arms were everywhere. I found a drill arm fragment, a grappling fragment, and a propulsion arm fragment. This thing has a lot of gear. While I was here though, unfortunately, I had to let the wildlife know I'm not to be played with. No smoke. Get out of here. Thank you. That is your life forfeit because you attacked my ship for no reason, and I gotta repair it. And waste time and oxygen. Let your dead body serve as a warning for anybody else that comes across me. I'm problematic and I will end you. The more I look around here, it seems like this was probably part of the prawn bay that fell out the Aurora.
PRAWN Safety Instructions Appendix
Man,
14.
I really could have been had the
Don't climb on or
prawn
get
suit.
off equipment while it's moving.
In the meantime, another fool of a fish tried to disrespect me. I knew you would try it. Now you gotta learn to. You have to be that good old belly flap, G. I tried to tell you, but you didn't want to listen. The last thing I found on the ship was an alien containment blueprint. Watch how long it takes me to get this set up and use it. Next, I upgraded the scanner room. The scanner room needed a range upgrade as well as a HUD upgrade for me so that I could see where the scanned items are. The HUD upgrade was much needed because now, instead of just scanning things and then having to go find them on our own, they appear directly on our screen so we can go directly to them. I was contemplating my next move because I knew I needed torpedoes, but I also wanted to revisit every location I had seen before because I thought I could find something new this time, or maybe I could take a different path and discover something else. I prepared for this world tour by emptying my inventory, of course, and swapping out the batteries for all the tools I had. As you can probably tell by now, I'm a little bit reckless when it comes to this game. So when I logged in on day 56, I thought to myself, I'm gonna kill a Leviathan. No torpedoes, nothing. Just a knife and a repulsion gun. I need to figure out how I'm going to kill it if I can't with regular means. And I'm gonna try and do it with just a knife and a repulsion gun. So my shock shotgun, I guess I'm gonna call it. If you've played this game even a little bit, you understand what a stupid and foolish decision this is. You know exactly what's about to happen. I do too, but that didn't stop me. General principle. There he is. Well, come on, big boy. Let's do it. Oh God. Oh God. Okay. Outmaneuvering him. He has. No, bro. Stop. Stop eating my thing. You're a monster. Stop. Oh my God. Where you going, dog? Where you going? Now, I'm about to try you and your whole family. Now, where you going? Back on my ship, for real?
You didn't need to, that was unnecessary. You didn't have to do that.
If I had $10,000, I would have bet none of it on myself. But guess what? I called the guys at Men in Black and we just ignored that. After hitting the reset button, I decided it was time to go east. East until I came to a desert, crossed through that desert, and then I hit the edge. Then I made a left and decided I'll just go around the entire island. On my way around, I hit the north side. And apparently the north side is home to the most leviathans you've ever seen. Because around every corner, every nook and cranny, it seems I ran into one.
Saw a demon. I was like, see bro, like look at this. Look at this.
I tried using the hills as cover, but apparently the hills have eyes.
2000. Okay, Brody, I'm gonna slide back over here and just try to dodge you, dog. Are you just patrolling this area? Are you the new? Okay, dog. Okay, dog. Okay, excuse me. Okay, there's more than one. All right. Okay, that means I need to go up. I can't even. Okay, I need to come correct if I'm coming over here and on this side of the ocean.
Eventually I came around to the Sunbeam rendezvous point. Now I hadn't really explored too deeply here, but at the bottom under this archway, I found another purple key. I cut my journey around the world short because I felt like I really wasn't making progress. So I went back to the base and collected the batteries I put down first. Then I decided to raise my self-esteem a little bit. I set out to build a prawn suit, but to build a prawn suit, you need quite a bit of lithium, which means I'm gonna have to scavenge even more to find something this rare. The easiest way to find lithium is to go back to the Dagazi habitat from before. The purple area has a lot of lithium, and I mean blocks of lithium as well as small pieces. I only needed 5, so that made it pretty easy to find. The next big scavenging trip was to find titanium, because now I need a lot of titanium to make plasteel ingots. The only other major component I needed was glass, and so I had to farm a bunch of quartz as well. After scavenging 3 different areas, it finally paid off. I did it. I crafted the prawn suit. The prawn suit is a mech suit, a weaponized mech suit that allows for traversing very dangerous places, high temperature places, extreme places with a lot of, let's just say, hostile creatures. I enjoy customization quite a bit. You've met Mr. Moth. Now I'd like to introduce you to Big Prawn. Now that the prawn suit is up and running, I'm scavenging for the last little bit of torpedo parts. Let me tell you that I am almost 60 days in before I realize this guy gives you items.
Oh, wait. Dang, gas pods. And I've been in the game this long and had no idea that this dude could give you stuff. Hey, release those. Go ahead. I'm just gonna. So you have to scare him, and then after you scare him, you basically have to grab the pods as fast as possible or get hurt.
I learned that gas torpedoes are made from a gas pod and titanium. Probably the simpler of the 2 torpedoes, also the more lethal, but who was I to know that at this point in the game, right? It took me 60 days just to find the gas pods. I crafted a bunch of vortex torpedoes and set out to find the Leviathan to test it on. The only one I knew for sure would be there was the one near the Aurora.
Wait, what? Wait, why is he not, like, dead? Oh, I missed. Get off me, bro. Like, I've missed so many times. I'm out of torpedoes. Wait, can I not kill this thing? He's coming back. I hit him twice, I missed twice. So that's 4 torpedoes I shot. Are we really doing this?
Torpedo systems disengaged.
Yep. Okay, bro, he's not. I think he's like, nah, bro, you didn't do anything to me. Look at this dude. He's like, yeah, no. All right, I gotta get out of here.
As you can see from the clips, vortex torpedoes are non-lethal, meaning they don't hurt anything. They just move things out of your way. If I had read any of the directions, they would have told me that straight away. But I just had to learn the hard way like always. I was coming up on day 60, which is a marker for me because it means I'm closer to the end of my 100 days than I am the beginning. I only have 40 days left to figure out what's going on this planet, find a cure, and leave while I can. Since I wasn't really making major progress on the surface, I needed to go back to the place I was afraid of. I needed to find the junction with the Ghost Leviathan. I knew in my heart that if I could get past this Ghost Leviathan, I could find something worth finding.
And okay, so here's the way, right? Save my game. Wait for it to finish. I have defenses right against stuff like him. I'm just really gonna his natural area is right there, so I'm just gonna try to get around him. Right, gonna go around him. No big deal. He's cool. We're cool.
My strategy worked. Like a charm, actually. I got around him, moved on forward. I discovered a lot of skeletal remains down here, a lot of fossils of ancient leviathans. George Bush would have had a field day with this. Following the alien remains, it wasn't long before I noticed some alien structures, like the ones on the surface, pillars that held up a path to a destroyed facility.
Okay.
This alien structure appears to have collapsed to the sea floor.
Yeah, that's kind of obvious. Okay.
Detecting an alien broadcast, linguistic analysis reads, "Caution, hazardous materials and life forms contained within."
Hazardous materials and life forms.
Interior walls in this section are substantially reinforced, indicating the designers were seeking either to keep something out or contain it within. Whatever their intention, it clearly failed.
We're off to a bad start here. I found another power door that's locked by a purple key, which means I'll have to double back because I certainly didn't bring a spare one with me. Good news for us, this facility is more than just that one room. It's actually the place where the aliens here brought the organisms from this planet to study them to research the contagion on this planet. Obviously, the facility's been damaged, which means something either broke in or something broke out. Deeper in the facility, we finally get a name for our mysterious contagion. They call it Kara.
Data pertaining to the bacterium is being downloaded. Caution. Detecting atypical fluctuations in blood plasma proteins.
Okay.
A self-scan is strongly advised.
Bro,
Self-scan complete. Bacterial infection has spread to the skin and pulmonary system.
Oh my god.
Medical report recorded to databank.
Wait, am I
It
dead?
is imperative you find a way to neutralize the infection.
Oh, what? Am I good? Oh my god. What? I need a way out, bro. Please, I need, oh my god.
I was actually fine, but it did seem like her condition was getting worse. Outside the facility, I couldn't tell which direction I came from, so you know what that means. We're lost. So we have to pick a direction, go with it, and hope it works out. I guess I'm lucky, because I picked a direction, I went straight out, no obstacles, no giant leviathans, nothing. And so I decided to turn back. I had to bust a U-turn, go back in, and find another way, because I thought I had missed something. And missed something I did, because I found this tree. Now this tree is not really special per se, but it does serve as a marker between worlds. This is the bottom of the Lost River. The Lost River then leads into a place called the Lava Lake. Unfortunately for us, it's not quite time to go down there yet, because the sea moth has a depth limit of 900 meters, even with max upgrades. So for now, we're just going to scan the tree and keep it moving. Now I know what you're thinking. What did he find down there? And the answer is nothing. Absolutely nothing. Because guess what I didn't do? I didn't search under the green fog. I didn't search under the white fog. So I didn't find any new ores or any new materials. I suck at the game. Now remember, we're still lost. The only saving grace was I remembered that you could turn the waypoints on. So I turned the waypoint on for the Dagazi habitat that led me all the way back out. Back at home, I discovered the peepers were beaching themselves on top of my base, which means free food for my bioreactor. You know what's crazy? When a game gives you 2 weeks to live when you're only 61 days into your playthrough. So the bacterial infection report basically told me that I was infected, it was getting worse, and yes, you only have 2 weeks left before it goes critical. There was also a sea dragon egg that I scanned. Now given I haven't seen anything marked sea dragon as a creature up here, I'm assuming there's something much bigger downstairs. Do you know that these people took one of those warping things and added Wolverine claws to it? Do you have any idea how terrifying that is? According to the damage report, the threat came from outside. Something A Leviathan specifically, I suppose, came in at high speed, destroyed some cables, sunk the entire facility, which triggered the execution protocol for all the specimens. Our boy Carr is responsible for 143 billion bodies, and we just saw stage 2 of it, which means we had green skin lesions and flu-like symptoms. I had the flu, and I'm swimming around in the water for days on days at end. And then stage 3 is unpredictable alterations to biological structure. I'm gonna have to call Professor Xavier because I'm gonna become a mutant. The only good part about this is the free food the game keeps serving up. Get out of my ship. No, you're not escaping. You're gonna glitch in here, you're gonna get caught, you're gonna get served in the aquarium. I crafted a couple beacons because I knew we needed to do a round trip back to the disease facility to open the one door we missed before. On the way back down, we met the cousin of an old friend. Is it beef? It could be. I got torpedoes now, don't you? I will fire on you. How did you even get up here, first and foremost? I'll pull up on you though, I ain't gonna hold you, because it's necessary. Damn.
Passing 100
We lit.
meters. Oxygen efficiency decreased.
I'm sick of you, dog. Already.
Passing 200 meters. Oxygen efficiency greatly decreased.
Yep. It's beef. It's beef. I know what time it is. You don't know what time it is. I know your weakness. The blade. Oh wait, no, I'm messing up. Now where you going? Where are you going? Revenge is mine. Revenge is mine. Revenge is absolutely mine. Now, I'm gonna scan your dead body, and you're gonna answer me about what you are, what you do. Why does this take so long? Because you're a hostile, I killed it. Like, dog, it's dead. I set up a marker by the big tree and basically called it Go Deeper. I named it something simple because I didn't think I would remember giant alien underwater tree. I made it back to the disease facility in record time. I used my extra purple key to open the door, and lo and behold, it's all the data on the research specimens. On the way back out, I got greedy. You know me. I can never take what they give me. I gotta take everything they got. I don't see him. That's because he's over there. Oh, okay. I'm gonna swim down here for just a sec. Skeletal remains. I know you guys are upset that I'm here. I know. I'm gonna leave though. Excuse me. Gargantuan fossil. I know you just like. Okay. Wait. Please. Okay, please. Let me go. Please let me escape. Please let me escape. I promise I won't come back. I won't. I promise. That's a lie because I have to come back. So I'm sorry that I lied to you, but I'm getting away now, so you can't do anything about it. Haha. The research data contained one thing and one thing only. It detailed how every experiment had completely failed except for one. There was an entity down here called a Sea Emperor, which had to be bigger than a Sea Dragon because, titles. So it sounded like my only hope for a cure was buried 1.4 kilometers below sea level. We have quite the trek to make. The goal now was to find Cyclops parts, and I really hadn't seen any more lying around, so I kind of picked a random direction, north in this case, to just go and explore more. I found myself at the original rendezvous point with the sunbeam, and then I remembered after I got here and explored the facility, I really didn't explore the island itself much, which is a shame because there's so many materials here on this island I could have used earlier but just didn't get the first time. There was also another archway here, but this time it could be powered by an ion cube. Unfortunately, I didn't have an ion cube on hand to test it out. I figured the archway was important, so I made a quick round trip to base to grab an ion cube and come back and figure out exactly what the gate was for. On the way back, I got pretty lucky. I spotted the last piece of a nuclear reactor fragment. Insert ion cube. Here. What? Because I'm going in there. Because I have no other options at this point. What? The gates are actually a pretty simple concept. They serve as fast travel points between waypoints. This one links the mountain island, where we met the sunbeam, to the floating island, where we found the rendezvous point. On the way back, we made a detour to the west. There was a giant wreckage here, what I assumed to be the Aurora scanner room. The thing that gave it away was the Aurora scanner room voice log.
The way I see it, no one's to blame here.
He gave me the wrong coordinates.
She didn't give me clear instruction. Okay, I'll rephrase. You've been equally incompetent. Now, we've lost time, but we're closer to the planet. So if the Degassi's out there, the scans should pick it up.
Why are we even helping the Mongolians? They're the competition.
Enjoy your shore leave on Sanjay Station? Like having fuel in the tanks? thank the
Moon pool.
Mongolians.
Yeah, see, bro, if I'd
We
have
run the
explored
scans,
this
we show them we
earlier,
didn't find
sooner,
anything, and we say thanks for
I
the
could
free
have been had a
bits.
moon
Clear?
pool.
Sir, there's something odd on the surface scan here. Turn that recorder off.
The mushroom forest nearby turned out to be just what the doctor ordered. We found our second Cyclops fragment here, which means we're one step closer to getting the big ship. I looked low and high in this forest for another Cyclops hull fragment, but there wasn't one to be found. Fortunately, I knew of another mushroom forest nearby, so I went to check that one out. When we got there, things seemed quiet at first, but it seems our third and last fragment is gonna have to be paid for with blood. Well, let's look right here. See what we find. No, wait a minute. What are we doing? You're wildin', man. You're wildin', bro. Okay, that's how we're gonna play the game. Okay, I don't really respect the sneak attack, but hey, there it is. Yo. All right. Okay. I see. We're gonna have to like be enemies. Yo, you don't understand. I will kill you. These ones are aggressive. The other ones aren't that aggressive. What you got for me? Huh? No, please. Brody, please wait. No, please stop. Please stop. Where did you even come from? Just dip. Just dip. I got four. Don't crash. Please, God, don't crash. Okay. Just dip down here. That's why I never came over here. I remember now. But in the meantime, between time, hop that thing out, repair as much as we can. Where he comes back. Alright. Little shielding. Right. I just need to get this thing and I'm done here. You understand me? This whole fragment is the whole reason I came over here. Boom.
New blueprint acquired.
And we good to go, G. Cyclops hull blueprint. I can leave now. I can dip. I have everything I need to never see you guys again. Well, I could probably... Yeah, you get out of here. You go about your little merry way. Maybe I've been playing it safe until now. Maybe I'm just lucky. But that was my first surprise attack by a Leviathan. Up until this point, I've never seen anything like it. And I made it out of there by the skin of my teeth. The next objective is to build a big boy. A lot of materials to grab here. The biggest one's probably going to be the titanium, considering we need 3 plasteel ingots. Fortunately, titanium's easy to come by. Literally 2 ships worth have been shot down. What do you think the most abundant resource is right now? Excuse me, I'll just float down here. Now I'll dip out before anything crazy happens. Yeah, I figured you might want to talk to me, but I don't want to talk to you, so I'm going to keep it moving now if you'll excuse me. The plasteel ingots didn't take long at all, considering I had the lithium on hand, and I could scavenge whatever I wanted because of the salvage around the base. As I predicted, the scanner upgrade came in handy. This time I searched for quartz, and it was pretty easy to find, especially with the HUD upgrade. It made it child's play to find every piece of quartz in the area. Quartz in hand, it was simple to make glass. That's the first step in our enamel glass setup. Now we grab a couple stalker teeth, combine them, and we get ourselves a set of enamel glass. I already had an advanced wiring kit ready to go from a previous experiment, so the last thing I had to grab was creepvine seeds. Now swim around. Really, bro? You're not gonna, like, go away. Just go away. Like, you're embarrassing yourself. Switch to launch. Can I just... Wait, nah. Even if I can build it, I would have to...
Cannot build here. Must be constructed in deeper water.
What? How big is this thing? I could tell the Cyclops was big, but not this big. I had no clue we were in uncharted territory here. I actually had to take the Seamoth out a few hundred meters with a mobile vehicle bay to find a place to set it up. What do you got for me? This thing gotta be huge, right?
Be advised, the Cyclops is designed to be operated by a 3-person crew. Only experienced helmspeople should attempt to pilot this vehicle solo.
But yo, this thing is huge. Huge is an understatement considering it's meant to be a mobile base. It can actually carry the other vehicles we've crafted so far. It comes equipped with 6 full power cells. 6 full power cells. That is a whopping 3 times the amount for the prawn suit and 6 times the amount for the sea moth. All the upgrade modules for the Cyclops are actually crafted on the Cyclops as opposed to a modification station or a moon pool. Given the sheer size of the engine of this thing, it's clearly meant to travel very deep and to retrieve or carry lots of materials with you. I'm gonna call it Scott Summers. Wait, I can't upgrade the... Oh, there it is. Yeah, Scott Summers. It also has 3 different engine speeds as well as the option to rig for silent running in case we need to run from leviathans deep below the sea. It also comes with a decent storage area. Whatever you may find down below, you can always store in the lockers here. And you know I had to customize it to make it feel like home. Scott Summers. Yeah, that's so it. With the black stripes, yeah, man. You know how we roll. All right, Scotty. I gotta have a beacon for my cycle. Oh, come on. For Scott Summers, bro. Yeah. How am I gonna get that thing down there though? Like, it's huge, bro. Piloting this thing into that is gonna be crazy. Okay. Hey. Don't you hit my ship. Hey, you big, don't you hit my ship. Hey, cut that out. Wait, how do I dock? Yes. Oh, that's cool. Spin that engine up. Piloting this thing is phenomenal, but we're soon going to learn it comes with its own set of rules. What? Brody, hold up. I didn't even do... Well, first of all, shut the engine down. Okay, that's first thing, right? You're kidding me when you... You're kidding me. You're kidding. They're not kidding at all. All right. Oh my God. Did I not grab a fire extinguisher? I did not. What? Okay, thank you. I was very sure I grabbed that thing.
Extinguished. Air scrubbers initiated.
That's right, if you run this bad boy too long at engine speed 3, it overheats and sets fire to the engine. With the big boy build, it felt like it was time for more upgrades, and the first upgrade on the deck was the Cyclops Depth Module Mark 1. We installed the 2 modules we had on hand, one being our engine efficiency module, the other being the depth module Mark 1. This gave us a depth of 900 meters as well as an engine efficiency of 300%. Given that Cyclops at this point only has a 900 meter depth, it is no more useful than the sea moth is, which led me to believe the nickel and the crystalline sulfur we needed for our next modules were somewhere in the Lost River. I knew once I got the Cyclops set up to go deeper, I was only going to make one trip, which meant it was time to outfit everything we had with the best gear possible to make this one last push to finish the game. Let me remind you that titanium is the easiest resource to farm. Therefore, the first thing that I outfit the sub with is lockers. These are really going to come in handy carrying everything from my base down with us to the depths, as well as grabbing anything we can down there and bringing it back. Then right near the locker seemed like a very convenient place to put a fabricator in case I needed to craft anything. I finished out the lockers for maximum storage, as well as placing some indoor grow beds and pots for food for the future. Yo, it makes coffee. A good thing to note is if you make a coffee machine, it is a valid source of water and it continuously outputs. So if we have to make it work, we have to make it work. I wanted to be absolutely sure I had enough storage, so I crafted some bigger lockers upstairs. There were only a couple things left to make my mobile base complete. I needed to make a medical kit fabricator as well as a modification station in order to set things up. I also needed to actually fill the grow pots with a real food supply. Having supplies on hand let me make short work of the two items. The medical kit fabricator and the modification station didn't take very long. I wanted to make sure I had enough cells and batteries for the deep dive. I spent basically all day making batteries and power cells, which means collecting copper, acid mushrooms, and silicone rubber. I also wanted to set up a permanent food source for the home base, so I spent a day gathering quartz for glass and titanium as well to build an alien containment. Once I got the alien containment set up, I knew I had to fill it with something, and Gary fish seemed like the best option because it was the longest lasting as well as the most nutritious. This means I can deep fry Gary fish whenever I want and stick them in the bioreactor if I need to. As we check off more and more items, it becomes very apparent that all we need to do is build the rest of the modules. Death modules for the Cyclops, death modules for the prawn suit, as well as the prawn suit jump chest. Granted, the only way to get these things is to find nickel and crystalline sulfur, which I hadn't yet grabbed. They had to be somewhere in the Lost River, so that's where we had to go. The exit we found before is conveniently located close to Life Pod 2. So going back to Life Pod 2, we made our way inside, and guess what? One of the things we've been looking for was conveniently right in front of our faces, hidden by the smog, but I was too creeped out before to notice. I gathered all the crystalline sulfur here I could, as well as scanned some ghost weeds for good measure. I'll take this one too, just because. Now we gotta go find nickel. Since the crystalline sulfur was covered up by mist, I figured the nickel had to be in the same predicament. So I went to the big tree and dug around a little bit. It didn't take long to find actually. In fact, the gamer inside me was disappointed because I should have explored more. Getting out from this new path is super easy considering there's no crab squid at the end shooting EMPs while you're trying to resurface. This is the blood kelp forest. I think that's what it's called. Bro, you ain't have to come in here like that. You ain't have to just spawn in like that. Back at home, we had a lot of plasto ingots to make, and you know what that means. We gotta go scavenging for metal salvage. The first upgrade to grab is the Death Module Mark 1 for the prawn suit. It jumps us from 900 meters to a whopping 1300 meters. Another upgrade is for the prawn suit jump jet. This is gonna give us a lot of balance underwater. The Cyclops has a similar upgrade path to the prawn suit. With the Mark II module installed, it's now at 1300 meters as well. The prawn suit needed a couple other upgrades too, specifically storage and engine efficiency. Can't get caught lagging down in the depths. The last major upgrade for the prawn suit was the gear. The grappling arm and the drill arm seemed like the best options to me. After getting the drill arm and the grappling arm, you kind of feel invincible. It's like a new power is unlocked and you didn't even know it. There's the drill arm and the grappling arm. That's the drill arm. Hey, yeah. Yeah, what you thought? What you thought, huh? What you thought? Safe to say grappling and drilling is the new trend around here. The last thing I had to do to be great was head back to the floating island and grab some food. I really should have been growing these all along, but you know me, I gotta do things the hard way. These marble melons and bobo fruits are actually a great source of food and water. The both of them actually provide more H2O intake than food. That makes them perfect for growing indoors and going places where food is scarce. After planting these, I was pretty confident in my ship. I had food, I had a consistent water supply, and I had enough storage to grab anything I needed. What more do you need to do something crazy? I needed as many backup power cells as I could get, so unfortunately the sea moth, since it was going to sit this one out, I had to take its power cell. At this point, there was no more prepared that I could be. It was time to set sail. It was time to maneuver this big thing down to where few have been and even fewer have returned from. The ship is huge, but it's not as difficult to navigate as you would think, considering there's an external camera system that allows you to see above and below the ship. Makes it a piece of cake. I made a quick stop at the mountain now, thinking I'd be able to grab some more lithium. Unfortunately, at least for me, the rock fragments here didn't respawn. At the entrance near Life Pod 2, it was kind of cozy. The Cyclops seemed like it was just big enough to squeeze through and turn this way and that way so it could make its way in. We dropping, boys. Coming through the tunnel, I spotted some big ore pieces that I had to have. Gold and copper definitely come in handy, especially when you get 10 at a time. Further into the tunnel, I made a mistake that would come back to bite me here shortly. I left the rig on silent running, which means it is actually killing. I mean stabbing, shooting, murdering the battery. Gonna hide behind these bushes real quick. So far, it seems like these ghost leviathans aren't nearly as aggressive as the Reaper leviathans from up top. I'm just picking up lithium. I'm grabbing everything I can. There's some crystalline sulfur right there, I think. Yeah. Wish this was like a bigger thing though. This is Nick. That's a thing, a nickel? I feel like every time I come down here, I miss something. Something so important as a slab of nickel. How could I have possibly missed that? I want to take a second to notice here what I did not notice at first. Silent running is still on and I'm at 57%. I'm halfway through the 6 cells I brought with me. But I have a one-track mind, which means materials before everything. So I had to go back for that nickel. You gonna attack me or no? You're not gonna attack me, then we good. I don't care how close you get. Or are you snitching? Is that it? You telling Big Draco to come down here? I hope you're not snitching. Just from digging a few plots, it looks like the crabs down here are too weak to do anything to the prawn suit, which is great because now I can just drill away and ignore them. Oh, he wildin'. He wildin'. I don't like it. He wildin'. He caught me. He caught me tripping. No, sir, please. I'm just gonna go hide. Yeah, I'm just gonna hide until he goes away. Please don't eat my shit. Okay, he went away. Maneuvering out of here was tight, and I mean tight. I had to use every camera on the sub to make sure I didn't bash into a cliff. About halfway down this waterfall area, after grabbing a few rubies, disaster struck. Now,
Emergency power only. Oxygen production offline.
What? What? Zero power. You're kidding. You're kidding. You're kidding, bro. Lucky for me, I packed spares for just such an occasion. Bro, that's crazy. I have to get that thermoreactor thing immediately. In the midst of my crisis, I got hungry, which means I had to eat a bunch of melons, and I also decided to scrap the potato plants just because I really wasn't feeling them. The entrance to the lava lake really wasn't hard to find, but like everything else down here, it seems like it's just big enough for the sub to get through, but not big enough for you to maneuver crazy like you really want to. As we made our way down, it was dark and very claustrophobic. I can't think of another time in a video game where I felt so huge and in such a small space. And first and foremost, bro, I'm too deep in there, safe. Because if anything happens right now, my entire life is on this one ship. As you can see, my first major mistake has got me nervous. But all's well that ends well, and I found some copper ore on the way down, so I'm happy about that. Yeah. Dock me, thank you. I was about to say, bro, please dock me. Take me up, Scotty. What is that in the front of us? Are you on the ship? What I'm not happy about is these lava larvae. These are little creatures that basically stick to the ship and then suck the energy out of the power cells. I had to make their ends quick. Because as you already saw, I'm out of extra power cells. Every time I venture into a new area, the sound mechanics remind me that I'm not alone. What? I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Given that I didn't know it was ahead in my nervous nature, I decided to park the ship in one of the nooks nearby and go ahead on foot. What are these noises, bro? Hello? Spider senses are absolutely active at this point. Even though my body's telling me I'm in danger, I couldn't help but harvest this kyanite. It was the only thing left that I hadn't found that I needed. And I went on a field day. I collected every rock in the vicinity, which means I collected way more kyanite than I never probably need. Kyanite acquired, the first thing we did. Cyclops thermoreactor module installed. No questions asked. I'm never gonna get caught lacking again. Now that my power problem is solved, the only thing left to do is upgrade the Cyclops and the prawn suit for depth. And by the way, these marble melons are coming in super handy. So I can do that, do this. Completely recover, basically. I obviously couldn't pull the death module for the Cyclops out while we're down here, so I had to make a new one from scratch. And yes, by from scratch, I do mean Mark 1, Mark 2, all the way to Mark 3. But once Mark 3 was crafted, we could swap them out, and now we have a full depth of 1700 meters for the Cyclops. Bro, why are you in my ship? I'm gonna cook you, eat you, bro. The prawn suit also got equipped with this Mark II module, which took it to 1700 meters as well. And since the Cyclops is now basically a power cell recharger, it made sense to take the dead cells we had earlier, replace them with the other cells, and charge them back up. I decided to head back outside to scavenge more resources. I still hadn't found what was down here yet, so I needed to do some more exploring. Walking around down here, I found a giant sinkhole, which probably meant this is the next area we need to go to. Not quite time to head down there yet. Trying to replenish the titanium I just expended making modules, I got attacked.
Bro, are you trying to hurt me? You wanna die, man? Where you going? Where you going, man? Where you going?
Safe to say the good old grapple and drill works everywhere. One of the worst discoveries I've made is that the lava larvae stick to the suit too, and they seem to be even more aggressive about it.
Where you going? Yo, another one though?
I went further in to find the facility I knew was down here. I discovered what looked like a molten castle, and it seems like the castle has a guardian.
Definitely gonna keep an eye out though. Okay. Oh my god.
What is that, bro?
Oh my god. Wait.
Is he shooting fireballs at me, dog?
Okay, I'm gonna chill, bro. I don't know you. You don't know me. Like, just give me. Can I get a break, please? How do I turn this light off? Am I stuck here? This is why I was like, I don't do. He literally shot fireballs at me like a crazy man. Bro, haven't seen a Leviathan shoot fire yet. Jesus Christ.
Despite almost getting barbecued, I found the entrance to the castle pretty quickly. It's actually just around the corner. The inside was covered with molten rock, crystalline sulfur, and kyanite. Even deeper in is the thermal facility we've been looking for. And it was at this moment actually it dawned on me. If the prawn suit and the Cyclops can be crushed down here, why am I surviving? I had to use a little bit of my jump jet magic to swing into this building here, but we finally made it inside, and you wouldn't believe what we found. There was a big cluster of those iron cube things we've been seeing all over the place right there for the taking.
I'm gonna drill these iron cubes for sure.
A little further in, we found another force field door as well as another data terminal that contains the fossil data. It says that 1,000 years ago, there was a mass extinction event that wiped out most of the species on this planet. I doubled back to start opening doors and activating gates. This particular gate took us all the way back to the original facility that shot down the sunbeam. The first door we came across was hiding a new type of key, a blue key. I'm assuming this is the master key for the next facility we're going to. Imagine you're on your way, you're making great progress, you're doing awesome things, and then somebody forces their way into your brain.
Come here.
What? Okay, I guess I'm on my way.
Despite the vague alien message telling us to come over because our parents aren't home, we pressed on to the actual thermal facility and used another purple key to open the force field door. This alien thermal plant is actually powering the entire planet, and with no way to shut it off, it looks like we're still on the hunt for a cure. The data terminal here contained information on the primary research facility. It gave us a location on our map and even gave us a power distribution guide for the planet. Would you believe the mountain-sized gun shooting down ships only takes up 35% of the total power? Are you kidding me? The other terminal's data made the whole trip worth it. It was ion power data, aka I can make ion batteries and ion power cells from ion cubes. Essentially the same as regular batteries and power cells, but they hold 5 times the energy. Everything here collected, I decided to head back outside and collect some silver and gold because those are the primary ingredients for ion power cells and batteries. Needless to say, the Guardian is still here, and I honestly can't tell if he's friend or foe.
Much more simple. This is also silver, so. Oh, no, boy. Oh my god. Okay. I'm just gonna go back in this little hole here. Bruh.
I can't believe he got that close and didn't do anything. Like, I feel like I literally had to hold my breath. After I got back, the first thing I did was check out the new ion batteries and power cells. These things hold 5 times the capacity. I still can't get over it.
Now I can pull the powered cells and make our way home. So it's 200. Swap that thing for
1,000? You're kidding me. It's 1,000? I was able to make 3 power cells with the silicone rubber I had on board. This gave us a 3,600 total energy. Getting down to the next level wouldn't be difficult. In fact, we'd already found the hole. We just needed to move the ship in such a way that we could get there without destroying ourselves, because you know, every nook and cranny of this place so far has been tight, and this next level was no exception. What? Bro.
I am what you seek. Want to help you.
Okay. Ooh, there's a beastie down here. Let me back up. I'm convinced whoever this is does not care about my safety. Number 1, I'm driving a sub. Why would you enter my mind while I'm driving a sub? Number 2, there's a sea dragon out there that I almost missed because I was distracted by the telepathic message. It seemed much safer to go on foot considering what was out there. The sea dragon hadn't noticed me yet and I wanted to keep it that way. So I decided to drop down in the prawn suit. But then on the way out, I got attacked by a fish. Can you get out of here, bro, please? Oh no. He can come in here?
Look at this dude. Ah, look at the top of his head.
Okay. My only option for safety right now is to run for my fucking life. At that point, I went straight for the facility. My only hope is that he doesn't destroy my ship while he's trapped in there with it. On the way over, you're literally playing a game where the floor is lava. If you touch it for even a second, you'll lose about 15% of your health. I made it across pretty safely considering the sea dragon is trapped in that cove with my ship. No monsters out here to be seen.
Translating local alien broadcast. Warning, vaccine development program terminated. Emperor egg hatching project terminated. Live specimens terminated. Evacuate immediately.
Yeah, 0 chance we're leaving without what we came for. On top of that, the thing in front of us is an ion cube fabricator. No way I'm leaving without farming this thing. The terminal up the stairs held the Enzyme 42 project data. It detailed how a Sea Emperor Leviathan had shown signs of anti-Kara mutagens. However, all attempts at cultivating these mutagens and creating a cure has failed. While I was being a good explorer and scanning all the artifacts down here, I got attacked by a small robot. He stabbed me in the ankle and then proceeded to try and inspect me. There were 6 doorways in the main room, 4 of which took you to archways that transported you to different parts of the planet. At this point, I didn't know exactly what they were for. I just assumed they were fast travel points to get us down here quicker, but they're pretty relevant story points for later. The room in the middle on the right appeared to be the housing for the research specimens. This is where all the data was kept.
This room appears to be a biological archive storing more than 40 indigenous egg specimens in different states of development.
Oh my god. Sea Emperor Leviathan research data?
New PDA data.
On the other side is a filtration system for the water. It appears that the peepers are coming in from all over the place and then they're going out with Enzyme 42 attached to them. So something down here is giving these peepers the cure. At this point, I was running low on water intake. I really needed to run back to the ship to grab some water and possibly some food. Mind you, this sea dragon is still in this cove. On the way out, he reared his ugly head and then I had to make a run for it. Oh, he's not in here. Please don't let my prawn suit have been destroyed. Oh, there you are, Prawny. All right, I gotta go for it. Gotta go for it.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Yes, sir. Definitely almost got barbecued in the process. Yeah, float it on in here, baby boy. Champion level stuff. Seems like our boy's a sore loser though. What we're gonna do? Yo, get out of here. Can't be in here. Tripping. Boy cheating. He like, nah, I know you in there. I'm gonna phase through the wall and eat you anyway. That would be terrible. I set up beacons for the 4 endpoints of the arch gates down here. This will make it easier to track them once we're back on the surface. As you probably already guessed, the Sea Emperor is the source of Enzyme 42. It, combined with the peepers flowing in and out of the inflow system, is the source of life on this planet at this point. It's essentially breaking down food, creating Enzyme 42 in its stomach, expelling it into the water. The peepers are capturing it and taking it back to the surface. The last room here on the main level houses a giant pool. This pool is kind of a portal to another world because they decided to make it foggy to make you afraid to jump in the water. So what? Oh my god. Oh no. Oh no 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 no. I'm gonna leave now.
Are you here to play?
Wait.
Others came here once. They built these walls. They played alone. They bored me.
You've been
Now
talking to me?
they're gone. And instead, we have you.
We?
We are curious whether you swim with the current or fight against it as they did.
Okay. Our new friend here is indeed who we've been looking for. This is the Sea Emperor. Now, the Sea Emperor creates Enzyme 42 in its stomach, and it's generating that in this little area, which makes everything here very passive. And it's not alone. There's 5 Sea Emperor eggs down here. Haven't hatched yet, but they're going to be big when they do. The Sea Emperor knows that her time is limited, so she wants to let her children escape to the outside world where they can prosper. There's a gate here that the researchers before us built to take these things to the outside world. Now, she's just blown away the sand. All you have to do now is open the gate and figure out how to get the eggs to hatch. The Sea Emperor injects the hatching enzyme blueprint directly into our brains, and now we know we need 5 different elements to get this to work. Now, where these elements are remains to be seen. Luckily for us, one of these is nearby. The Sea Crown is actually in the same room as the Sea Emperor. We won't be so lucky with the other pieces though. I'm honestly very embarrassed by how long it took me to figure this out. So each gate that we saw in the main room leads to one of the ingredients. I was thinking though, since I found the Sea Crown in the original room, that I'd find the rest of the ingredients in there as well. No such luck. So we had to go exploring. The ingredients actually aren't very far. Each gate is inside a cave, basically. Once you get to the exterior of the cave, you're basically gonna find your ingredient right there, if not, a couple fin kicks away. The dilemma we run into now is that, well, I don't really want to go back past the sea dragon in order to get to my fabricator. So what I'm gonna do instead is I'm gonna take one of the gates up to the surface, swim to the pod, fabricate it there, and then come back. Easy peasy. With everything together, it was time to start the end game. I guess it's not a dude, it's a chick. Because it has babies, unless there's some kind of weird, unless they're species, the men hatch the babies, I don't know. Insert hatching enzymes and get back in your suit because I don't know what's gonna happen next. If I have to do battle with these things, I will. I ain't gonna hold you. Okay, there's 5 of them. Oh, this is great. I set them free. They're awesome. Hold on. We gonna have a moment? Oh, this is awesome. This is awesome. No, look at me. Look at your mom. Look at me. Oh, this is awesome. This is what we've been waiting on, right? This is what we did it all for. Well, we didn't really know we were doing this before. Like, we couldn't tell this was what was talking to us originally. When it asked, what were we? Oh, they're gonna leave? Wait, he's leaving. He's gone. He's dipping. He's like, I love you, Mom. This guy's gone too.
My young are swimming for the shallows. I thank you. Their freedom is my end.
What
will it be like, I wonder, to go to sleep and never wake up?
What?
Perhaps next we meet, I will be an ocean current, carrying seeds to a new land.
Wait,
or a creature so small, it sees the gaps between the grains of sand.
What?
Farewell, friend.
What? You're dying. Okay, you're dying. They're leaving. This is a wild time. Oh
man. The end is you die. Are you really? Okay, your eyes are still open. You're still glowing. Okay, your bulbs are still on that bright and green. You know, what's happening here? Are you really? You're still blinking a little bit. You know, you're still doing okay. Your kids are gone. No, they really are gone. Now you. How do I? Wait. Okay, they're free. I understand that they're free. But like, how do I? Hey, are you still dying? Wait, are you gonna die? Actually, are you just gonna? Okay, you're not gonna die on my watch. You're just gonna die after the fact. All right, portal. Love to see it. All right, what are you guys doing? Concentrated enzyme 42. Oh, they're restoring the planet. Oh my god. Oh, hey. Oh no. This is bad? No, it's not bad, right? This is good. This is enzyme 42. This is good. They're fixing me.
Self-scan complete. Vital signs normal.
I'm free, baby.
No remaining sign of bacterial
I'm free.
infection.
You already know what time it is. It will set us free. Right. It's gonna check again. Oh, bro, you didn't have to, but I guess you can. Did it power off? It powered on. We're good. Wait, why does that sound like it's not the end? Why does that sound like it's not the end? That should be the end.
It is the end. We found the cure, we shut off the cannon, and now it's time to go home. The only task left to do is to get our sub up from the center of the earth. Unfortunately, it looks like the Sea Emperor is gone. Fortunately though, she raised 5 great children because it looks like they're gonna Captain Planet up and save the planet. Day 93 was super interesting. I ran into a glitch while I was down here. My oxygen stopped depleting. And I think what you're about to see is the result of that glitch correcting itself. I have a lot of lockers. I have a lot of lockers for a lot of storage. I set it up so I could collect everything I needed and go back flawlessly. I made it out, and almost without any snafu, almost without any problem, I almost made it until I got back to the first lava zone, and I was killing these larvas.
Wait, what?
That's right, all of my lockers, every single last one, all my materials, everything fell from the ship. And it's now at the bottom of the first lava zone. I went back in to see for myself, and it was true. I had lost every single locker there was. Fortunately, this snafu isn't as bad as it seems. It's pretty much just a minor inconvenience that took me the better part of 2 days to rectify, because I essentially have to take every locker, defab it, and refab it back in the ship, and then move every item into the new lockers. It's annoying, but it's not game ending, so I'm okay with that at least. Even though I know the game is over for me pretty much, I couldn't resist the gold and silver deposits that were left here. I really wanted to make some ion batteries and power cells just for, giggles. The way back is simple, but dark, to be honest. There's a lot of traversing here where you can't see where you're going really, but once you get back to the big ghost tree, the only thing stopping you from making it home is a ghost leviathan juvenile, I guess that's what we're calling them. Back at home, I could taste success. There was nothing stopping me from leaving the planet. I had cured everyone, I had saved myself, and I had shut off the cannon that was killing my ships. With only 5 days left on our journey, I knew I had to move fast, so I immediately took the mobile vehicle bay out to a deeper area because I knew I needed room for the launch pad we were about to build.
Neptune rocket. They're gonna put this together so fast. These little drones, these fabricator drones, love these things.
Needless to say, the platform was massive, and I mean huge, at least big enough to fit about 10 Cyclops on the surface of it. This thing is pretty big. This rocket's gonna be massive. The next thing to build is the gantry. Now, the gantry only needs a plastic ingot, copper wire, and some lubricant. Unfortunately, because of all of my exploits down below, all I need to grab here is some lubricant. Instead of using the titanium I had on hand, I figure a more conservative method would be to deconstruct the lockers I wasn't using.
Construct. Oh boy, I didn't even know. It just kind of took the thing. All right, cool.
With the gantry built, we had our lift that takes us to the top of the ship. Now we need to build the base of the ship.
It needs a plasteel ingot. So again, 3 nickel, air gel, and a wiring kit.
All these things are made from stuff I had on hand, so no need to scavenge here. We just go straight into the button pushing.
Construct. Construct. This has got to be the base of the rocket.
After the base of the rocket's built, the next thing on the chopping block is the reserve. Now the reserve needs a few things: crystalline sulfur, kyanite, plasteel ingot, and some ion power cells. Most things here are raw materials, which is fine, right? I have a lot of those, but I didn't have any other ion power cells than the ones that were already in use in the Cyclops, so I had to build a few.
See you in a second. Construct. So that's got to be the midsection. It's got the name on it at least. It's called the Neptune. That's dope. Yo, these little this technology is crazy. First of all, they made all that out of what little I gave them.
The last part to build is the cockpit. Now the cockpit requires a Cyclops shield generator, a plasteel ingot, enamel glass, and a computer chip. Most of this stuff I have on hand, but it's gonna take me a second to build that shield generator. The polyaniline was a simple build, no problem there. The advanced wiring kit, I actually already had one in the cockpit of the Cyclops, so I had to pull that one out of storage. And then the power cell also in storage, so actually, easy work. The build at the top of the rocket for the cockpit was so high up that I just had to trust the robots were doing a good job because I definitely couldn't see it from where I was at on the platform.
Can't even see what they're doing. They made the top of the rocket, I guess. Okay.
Neptune 1 rocket online.
And you know we had to set up our signature green color scheme with the black stripes.
Let's make it orange, and then the name should be black as well. Click to edit. I'm calling it GTFO because we getting up out of here, bro.
Going up the gantry was bittersweet because I knew the end was coming.
So go in.
Inside, there were several modules to power before we could get things going. The first one was the auxiliary power unit. After that, the communications array, and finally on this level, the hydraulic systems. I climbed the ladder into the cockpit itself and discovered 3 more stations that needed attention.
Yo, this cockpit is sweet.
The first thing up here to set up was the life support systems. I know good and well we're gonna need this on the way home. Behind that was setting up the primary CPU for the ship. This one was gonna be important too.
Make sure that's online.
Primary computer systems active.
The last thing we can set up here is a time capsule. It's something we can put items in, jettison once we launch, and then leave behind for other players to find. I tried to be as helpful as I could here, so I left behind some keys, some ion power cells, and some water. I tried to be helpful but not ruin their journey because I certainly could have just left them a bunch of ion parts.
Well, guys, it's been a grand, glorious journey, but now it's time to go home.
Ready to launch on your command, Captain.
Hit the button, bro.
Launch in 10, 9, 8.
What?
7, 6.
Why would you land on my rocket? I'm leaving.
2, 1.
Right. Get out of here, because we're leaving. We're going into space.
Time capsule jettison.
Goodbye, time capsule. I hope whoever finds that enjoys those power cells, those keys, and that water. Power cell's probably the most useful thing I gave him. What?
Caution. Approaching orbital debris.
Oh my god. We ain't gonna make it out of here.
Orbital debris field clear.
Oh, okay.
Performing gravity turn maneuver.
Oh my god. I was like, wait, we ain't gonna make it out.
Confirm destination coordinates. Nearest interstellar phase gate.
Oh, this planet is huge.
Engaging ion boosters in 3, 2.
Oh boy.
1.
home we go. Well, I don't know if we're going home, but we're going somewhere else. There you have it, ladies and gents.
What is a wave without the ocean? A beginning without an end.
So you just here?
They are different, but they go together. Now you go among the stars, and I fall among the sun.
I thought you died.
We are different, but we go together.
What you mean together? I thought you died. Did you sink into my skin? Yeah. Yeah, Subnautica, Unknown Worlds. Subnautica, game. Thank you guys for watching so much. I really appreciate it. The journey's been fantastic. It's been amazing. It's been grand, mysterious, and beautiful. A lot of twists and turns that I didn't expect. For starters, I didn't expect to see the alien at the end of the game. I actually talked to us and be a friend. I fully expected to have an epic boss fight. Didn't happen. In fact, this game was more about exploration than it was about combat, because really all you have is a knife and maybe some other weapons I didn't even craft. But ultimately, it was an experience that I didn't know I needed. I love this. Once again, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it.